Okay, so let's take a look at this basketball play. This is an ATO basketball play. It's a pistol hammer basketball play. So what we're going to have here is the opportunity for a layup, but we're also going to have the opportunity to get a three-point shooter open. So multiple different opportunities here, multiple different ways that we can go about it. So let's take a look. So number one is going to be our point guard, right? They're going to be the person driving to the basket that we want to, get open for a layup. Okay, number four, you want to have a power forward there, someone who is a threat, but, someone who can post up kind of in that elbow/horns area to receive the basketball. Number five over here is typically going to be a post player, right, in that kind of dunker spot. And then number two and number three, here you want, your shooters or your shooting guard or your small forward, whatever that may be. Okay, so here's how we're going to go about this. We're going to have an entry pass in here to number four. So like I said, number four needs to kind of post up a little bit and, try to receive that basketball. Now, number one, they're going to, get close to number four to receive a dribble handoff. So if you want them to fake this way, then, go that way, that works too. If you just want them to kind of meet halfway, maybe at the 3-point line or something, that works as well, right? We just want to get the ball back into number one's hands. So what we're going to do then is have number one drive to the basket. Now, chances are the defense isn't going to be okay with just letting this be a one-on-one drive to the basket. Eventually, somebody's going to step in to help, right? Whether it's the man of number five here, right? If they step in to help, or number three, if they step in to help. But all of these players are going to be focused right on that initial drive. All the defenders are going to be focused on that initial drive. So number one is going to drive here to the basket. Number four, we're going to have number four stay wide, right? If that defense collapses, an option that we'll have is to pass it back to number four. But as that is happening, number two and number three need to switch, right? So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. You can have number two come up and set a screen here for number three to move that way, right? Or, you could have, number two and number three literally just switch, right? And then have number five to step in for an extra screen on their way down. There's a few different options. Now, what number five is doing here, if they're not getting that, dunker's pass, they're going to basically, be used to set. So if they're not getting this dunker's pass here for number one, I should say, they're going to be used to just set an additional screen to get, the person open who is going to be shooting the basketball. So what I mean is this, right? If we're just going to have number two and number three switch, right, we're going to have number five to step in and set another screen here for number three to get number three wide open. So, we can use number five to be involved in that screening action, right? But what we're going to actually look at here for our second option is, as number one drives to the basket, we're going to likely see the defense here from number two and number three, even before they switch, collapse into the middle to try to help out here onto number one. So the focus is going to be on number one. So number two and number three can easily make that switch, right, with number five kind of stepping in to set that second screen, because the defense is going to be looking over here at that drive, right? They're going to be looking at number one. So number one, as they drive, when the defense collapses, we're going to have a few opportunities here to kick it out for a shooter right here, because number five just stepped in to set that second screen. Or, like I said, you can go for that layup, but you'll have an option here for a shooter, and you'll have an option here for a shooter. So you're going to get a quick and easy layup or an open three-point shot from one of these shooters. Hold on one quick second, coaches. Before you go anywhere, I've got a couple free resources waiting for you from the Basketball Coaches Academy that'll take your practices and take your teams to the next level. First off, grab your complete guide to the continuous motion offense, which breaks down exactly how to teach your players to play the game, not just run plays. You'll learn what continuous motion offense really means, proven drills to build it, and how to run a motion offense continuously. We have lots of different things in this guide. We have video demonstrations, we have diagrams, we have descriptions, everything that you would need. If you want your athletes to develop real basketball IQ, this is the starting point. The second item that I have for you is the 5 must-have out-of-bounds plays for all ages. These are game-tested sets that you can run with youth or high school teams. We have baseline out of bounds. We have sideline out of bounds. all free for you. They're simple to teach, tough to guard, and each play includes clear diagrams and coaching points so your team stops wasting possessions. And lastly, I have the practice plan template. This printable practice plan template is the exact layout that I use to organize and plan every practice session. So you can plug in your warm-ups, skill blocks, team drills, and scrimmage notes so you can walk into every gym with a clear plan and zero guesswork. So I have these 3 free items for you. You can claim them using the link in the description. They'll be sent to you right away. Enjoy. Okay, so the next play that we're going to look at here comes from a horn set. So as we can see, right, we have our players kind of set up at the elbow here on a horns style. So we have our point guard here with the basketball, and we're going to have number 2 and number 3. We want those folks to be shooters, right? Just ready to be open for the basketball, right? So the first thing that we're going to have right here is number 5 is going to set a screen right here for number 1. Now, this is a bit of a decoy screen, right? Number 1 isn't going to really use that screen, right? They're just going to kind of use that to see the floor. It's a decoy to start the play. But then immediately number 5 is going to move down here to set a screen for number 4 on our on our horns. Okay, so number 4 is coming off of that screen. And at this point, number 1 is already going to start moving toward the center so that they can kind of meet number 4 here toward the middle of the floor. And number 4 is going to set another screen here for number 1. Now, we're going to then have a pick and roll between number 1 and number 4. But before that happens, number 5 is going to move down here and set a screen for number 2. So number 2 can curl to the 3-point line. So we have that, like I said, pick and roll here between number 1 and number 4, who's rolling. So number 1 is obviously driving to the basket. Number 4 is rolling. But now you also have number 3 coming off of that pin down screen to be open at the 3-point line. So we can also kick it out here to number 2 for an open 3-point shot. So multiple different options here. We have those 2 options with that pick and roll, but we also have a shooter, number 2, curling wide for an outside 3-point shot. Okay, so the next play that we're going to look at comes from a flex set. Okay, so we're going to be set up. We have our point guard here at the top of the floor, right? And we're going to be looking to get the ball down here to number 3. So you want number 3 to be somebody who can get the ball down low and score at the basket, right? It can be a small forward. It can be a power forward. It can even be, one of your bigger post players if you want it to be. But we want to get the ball down there to number 3. So with this one, the first step that we're going to do, we want number 2 to get open to the basketball. So we need to find a way for number 2 to get open, or this, one pass away player here. How you want to do it is up to you. You just need to find a way to get number 2 open. I usually just get them kind of V-cut into the key and out. Okay, so number 1 is going to feed the ball into number 2. Now, as that happens, number 5 is going to come to about the 3-point line, and set a screen here for number 1. And number 1 then is going to use that screen to cut to the basket. If they can get the ball and receive it from number 2, we can get it in there for quick entry pass to number 1, but chances are that's not going to be there. So number 1 is just going to continue at that point and move over here to set a screen for number 3. Now, as that is happening, number 5 is going to pop off of that screen to around the middle of the floor, and they're going to receive the ball back from number 2. Now, number 3 is coming off of that screen from number 1. They're doing a flex cut, and then they're going to be open, wide open down here under the basket. We're going to feed them in the basketball for a wide open layup.